Hello guys, how are you? I'm Anna, and today I want to share my game against the national master who was rated 2327, and I really actually enjoy with this game, and I think it's a good example of some basic strategical motives which we have in chess, and especially to kind of like a prevent opponent's castle and then attack the king, which will be in the center. And I really, guys, want to share this game with you. So let's get started. So today it was like a Title Tuesday. It's the chess.com special tournament where like all titled players are playing against each other. And I played against the national master whose rating point was 2327. And we got actually a really interesting position. I was down with the two pawns, but I had so much compensation, and I think attack was also interesting. So let's get started. Um, so my opponent started with the d4, d5, and e3. It's something like it's queen's pawn opening, but it's somewhere in between like a call system and queen's gambitish stuff. So actually, I played bishop f5. Mostly here, I start with a knight f3. I don't play bishop f5, but I wanted to try something new, and that's why I played bishop f5. So opponent plays c4, and immediately when you're developing your bishop, your b7 pawn is weak, and a lot of people tries to attack it. So that's also the plan for white. They try to attack the d5 square, and also white tries to get the queen to attack my weak pawn on b7, and sometimes it's hard to protect it, and you just have to give it up. So I played e6, and after queen b3, obviously I don't want to push it because if I push b6, there will be a lot of weak light squares, and I don't want to like weaken my queen side structure and position. Also, like to play queen c8 is not an option because the d5 pawn is hanging. There's like two attackers, only one defender if I move the queen. So I play knight c6, which is the famous idea to just let the opponent to take it, and then to play knight b4 to create some fork threads. And also, it's not only for fork threads; it's also like to trap the queen here. So right now, the white really struggles to move this queen. So definitely, it's some compensation for black. Well, it's hard to exactly to win the queen, but at least it's trapped. It's kind of like in the jail, like can't go anywhere. So I played knight before, and obviously only one move for white is knight a3 to protect the c2 square. Otherwise, it's fork. And after that, I continue to develop my pieces. And you can't really attack your opponent if your pieces are non-developed. So I was like, okay, let's develop the pieces. I developed my knight. Opponent takes take at bishop check, which looks good, but it's not that good as it looks because um, in this position, I realized that if this bishop will not exist, all those light squares will be really weak. So I was thinking about, okay, maybe like I can keep the pawn. But in other hand, I will keep my light square bishop. Opponent will not have a light square bishop, and I can use those light squares and attack on the light squares. So I played c6, and my opponent takes. I take, and then bishop d7, which is the tempo move, and of course, I also can't cover it with the queen because of two reasons. One, I don't want to exchange the queens, and also rook is hanging. So even if the rook was not hanging, playing queen d7, let's imagine rook is not hanging. Playing queen d7 is then not a good option because when you are down with the material, it's better to not exchange the pieces because like a simpler position will be, opponent will have more chances to win. So obviously we don't want to do that. um, I played bishop d7, and my opponent moved the queen. And in this position, I think maybe I had something better. I was thinking about a lot of moves. I was thinking about the rook c8 to win another tempo, about queen a5 check, about bishop b4 check, about bishop a3 to break the structure, and also to have this square for my bishop to control the diagonal and prevent opponent's castle. So I had a really good feeling about this, so I took it, I break the structure, and then I castled. I think now at this point my opponent made a mistake which was like game changing, and maybe it's because if it was a blitz game, my opponent was not really maybe thinking about that idea that I can bring the bishop and prevent the castle. I think white had to play 92. I still have good compensation because the structure is bad. I still have those light squares, but obviously I would not have that good position what I received after white played knight f3, and that's a mistake because after bishop b5, which is the great move, white can't castle anymore. So right now, what's happening is that light squares are really weak. White have extra two pawns, but as you guys see, this is like an isolated double pawn, which is really bad. And also, I can bring my other pieces. I already castled, so it's a great opportunity for me to create like a strong attack. So knight f3 obviously was the mistake. My opponent played 95 and rook c8. File is free. Bishop a6 to keep my bishop on this diagonal. And my opponent played knight d3, and I think my opponent wants to castle now and block the line. But actually, I think better for white. And during the stream, I was also talking about it. I think it was better for white to play f3, king f2. It would also like block the e4 square, and it's still like unofficial castle. So I think it would be good for them because knight with the knight d3 here is the huge problem. After I play knight e4, I think my opponent missed my knight e4 move, and now you can't castle because of the rook c3, and you are losing the piece because bishop and rook, they're both attacking and white lose the piece. I think my opponent missed this moment during the game, and that's why knight d3 is not good because right now everything is hanging. The rook is hanging. Somewhere check can also hang, why not? And yeah. My opponent played bishop d2 because rook c7 was hanging, and I think I played really good move here, which is bishop c4 first, because now if queen moves to c2, I will have a lot of discovered ideas. So my opponent played queen b1, and idea for my bishop move was like, okay, my bishop is protected here, and I will also force opponent to take the even more passive square with the queen and to stay more passive. And I think this move is really good what I played. It was queen f6. So idea of this move is next. I want to take here and I want to take that because f2 square is really weak. And also white don't have f3 because of the queen h4 check. This is the famous idea when you already have a knight on e4, to say check and then sacrifice the knight. And actually that's what happened during the game. Because otherwise, if not that, what they can do? White can't castle because of the knight d2, and it's not only they lost the bishop, it's also fork. What else? f3 is not option, but this and this is hanging. And my opponent played f3, which is still bad because after queen h4 check, this is famous idea. If you play g3, knight sacrifice, and if you take back, you're pinned and you're losing the exchange, and you have check. And I think it's almost done. If white takes, it's super bad. White decided to move the rook, but it's not help still because after taking, it's queen h2 with the tempo. Queen is under attack. Checks are coming because after check, I can also take that, and I can end up with a lot of material. And I think this move was also interesting. I played rook b8 because my bishop blocked the rook and I can't really use the rook, so why not? It's tempo move and I will control the open file, and then I have chance to engage with my rook. So rook b8. Opponent played queen d1 and check, check, and because this was pinned, rook b2, check, and after that, it's also already looks really bad. King at e1. Now let's remove the defender because knight is protecting the bishop. Let's remove the defender, and when they take, queen f2 check, queen g1 check, and checkmate on f1. I think it was interesting attack, and I think that idea of the preventing the castle, and it was also interesting. I was down with the 2 pawns, but I had a really good initiative and really good attack. So the material is not that important. Important is activity of the pieces and safety of the king, right? Especially in the early game. So material is like, even if white had the two extra pawns, they had nothing, and black had the initiative and pressure and good pieces to attack. And so I wanted to share this game. I played it today, and I was like, really happy about this game, and I hope you liked it, guys. Maybe I can also share some other my games next time. And thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day, all of you guys. And you can also check my other videos. They're mostly about the opening repertoires for beginners. And I will upload also other videos, which will be about middle game, end game, about analyzing games, and about a lot of other stuff. So have a wonderful day, all of you, and see you next time, guys. Bye bye. Bye bye.